Welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian.
I'm cold.
Yeah, that's cold, Craig. I'm cold too, by the way. My hands are about to be gone. And look behind us, we have a cold Honda. This is the 2023 CRV Sport Touring, and it's all new for 23. I know we're at the end of the year, but it's a new model this year. And look, it's got a new look and a new face and a new bulbous nose that Craig loves. But before we get there, let's talk Monroney, because we got to get that out of the way right away. Where's the light net, Craig? Okay, $39,845 is equipped. The only option on here is nothing. This is how it comes with the Sport Touring. Honda does that a lot. Their options are like accessories. So they package them and it's like, oh, if you want this and that, it comes in this trim. And they've got multiple trims. So that's okay, that's just how they do it. For $38,000, this is kind of a pretty healthy sized car with a lot of features, so that's what it really has going for it.
Yeah, it's not bad because the CRV is now more kind of like the mid-size instead of the base one now, because you got HRVs kind of slotted underneath this.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, a lot of brands have done this, right? The RAV4's gotten bigger, but this is bigger than the RAV4.
Yeah.
And I think this thing's really close to a Santa Fe in size, and it's definitely bigger than like a Ford Escape. So it's really kind of, CUVs are all over themselves in the segment, but this is stepping on the toes of the Passport big time, I think. So let's talk about the nose, Craig. I know it's your favorite feature. Oh boy, let's get out of the way. It's this. Craig doesn't like this.
Look, here, I'll fix it for everybody. Solved, now it looks good.
Okay, glad we did that because it doesn't bother me as much as it does Craig, but it's worth pointing out. He did make a good point. This is the leading edge of the car now. If you're looking at it on profile, this is the furthest most point. And it is kind of interesting. It's kind of like the satin polish, not polish, but kind of like a satin gray, almost a chrome.
Look, you can just make it black and solve it.
Yeah, if it's that simple. The good news is that is solvable. If you don't like it, just wrap it with something else. The other thing I do like about the thing that Hondas have done is they've kept the same headlight from the Honda Accord, previous Accord, same style headlight. I think it looks really, really handsome. Also, the grille has this pattern, and your radars are all embedded behind the logo itself, so you don't have this random
Better than years past, they would put something down here that would look really weird.
I like it. It's a clean nose. It doesn't bother me at all. Let's talk about the paint. This is like, I think it's Canyon Rock Blue. It looks
good.
Really, really pretty. Good metallic, and in the sun, I'm not sure if the GoPro's getting it, but it comes out really good with the metallic flake.
Oh, look, I've had having it this week. Everybody's mentioned the paint. They love this color.
Okay, I thought it was just me. I'm real happy with it. Let's talk about tires. These are the Continental Cross Contacts. We've had these several times. They're like a 480 tread wear. They last a long time. They're quiet. They're not the best in the dirt and off-road. They're not the best on a racetrack, neither of which is where this lives. So it's the perfect tire for what this is. These are 235, 55 19s, and these are a aluminum wheel. Look, the design is just kind of okay to me.
That's right.
Yeah, it's fine, but no complaints either. Fuel door. Let's check it out and see what we got to work with. Ooh, it works right. Hyundai, Kia, Toyota. Just do it this way, please. This is better. And look at that thing. It's actually capless. Bravo, Honda. It's an interesting design of that cap. Okay, anyways, there you go. And the first guy that wants to comment and go, oh, you can't put a locking cap on it. You don't need to, because this locks when the door is locked on the vehicle, so don't worry about fuel getting stolen. That's apparently.
Yeah, you unlock your car, it unlocks. How simple.
Yeah, very easy. And everyone on the internet thinks that your fuel just falls out the cap, apparently. So if you've had your fuel stolen, let me know. It's never happened to me.
I don't know anyone that's ever had their fuel stolen.
Me neither. Not in today's day and age. Anyways, you do have a rooftop spoiler. It has black accents again.
Well, that helps you go 110 miles an hour right there.
Allegedly. All right. Down here also you have on the rear hatch, I love this old Honda font. Look at that. It's just a sticker on the window. It says all-wheel drive. That's a cool kind of...
No, I like how they do that in the window instead of the actual back hatch.
Yeah, no, me too.
That's cool.
One less logo on it. The Sport trim logo is in matte black, and then you've got the touring badge, CRV, and hybrid. And I see real exhaust tips. I like that a lot.
Only on your side, though. Interesting that this one's not.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
It's a real tip. That's not a real tip. Okay. I'm going to start it up for you real quick. And that's what hybrids sound like. All right, let's go to the hood. And time to look under the hood of this hybrid monster. Ooh, dampened hood struts. I like that a lot. What you see right here is a 2-liter naturally aspirated Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder, no VTEC here, boys, sorry about that. And a lot of orange cabling to remind you there's a hybrid motor in here. If you look over here, Craig, you're gonna see not a transmission. And this is a really interesting setup. And not as effective as I would like it to be.
Where's the, what?
Wait, that's not a transmission. That's a hybrid. There's 2 electric motors down here and an electric generator that acts like the starter for the start-stop. So effectively it has 3 electric motors, one being a starter. And then this actually just recharges the battery, but it also has a clutch engagement that can direct drive the wheels as well through the generator motor. Super confusing. Some people think that this motor doesn't drive the wheels at all, like a Chevy Volt or Bolt. That's not the case. This being a CRV instead of the Accord, because it's a very similar powertrain, it can lock up at low speeds and do direct drive with a motor to the tires that helps with towing. You can tow 1,000 pounds, which is not
What?
Yeah, I know. That's for
A couple
towing.
bicycles?
It's bike rack stuff. And then at high speeds on the highway, when you're cruising, it can lock and go direct drive as well to assist the e-motor, because that's where hybrids don't shine as well. They need a little help on the highway to sustain highway speeds.
What kind of turbo does it have?
It doesn't have one. It has an exhaust manifold. That's it.
No turbo or transmission?
No turbo transmission.
Okay.
But another battery in the back, which you're going to show them in a second, and a combined rating of 204 horsepower and 247 foot-pounds of torque.
Not bad.
The electric motors alone generate 247 pounds of torque, so it makes me wonder why we're not combining the motors number as well, and it's probably in calibration. They only want so much going to the tire, which seems silly to me. There should be an option for that.
All right, Brian, time to check out the interior of the all-new CRV. Let's get in here and see what's going on. No split hatch, but that's okay. That's pretty common these days. Power liftgate, which is nice. And Brian, Honda's the king at storage and cubbies and... Wait a minute. Oh, is this a Honda?
Yeah, it's a Honda.
Because this is just a flat floor.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of flat floor.
No, there is a lot of room here. Look, in all seriousness, there's a lot of room in here, but here's what happens, Brian. You put your gear in there. Hang on, come back. You put your gear in there, and that's good, but now it slides all over the place when you're doing things, and it just doesn't stay in one spot.
Yeah, but you could put like 1,500 backpacks.
No, that's true, because when you put one in, you have to, so the other stuff doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
Because, and look, I say that the reason that's the case, Brian, is because normally in other Hondas, you can make this a little bit lower, or you got a little divider.
Oh, yeah, they open down.
This, you open this up, Brian, and I'm taking everything apart now. I've literally ruined the car. I've literally ruined the car. You do have a secret storage spot here. I guess you could smuggle something with, but you're not supposed to put anything down here.
But that's the hybrid battery.
As evidence of this clip I just took off, but this is why. Yes, the hybrid battery is back here, which is why you lose all that little goodies. The Honda normally gives you. Interesting that's happened.
We fixed it.
We fixed it. So we're back in business.
Well, in all reality, this is not supposed to come up for
anything. It's supposed to just stay down.
It's not actually designed to pop up and store things at all. It's just wasted space.
You may have noticed there's not a spare tire down here, but Brian, look back here. Honda's taking care of you.
Nice.
Your little fuel spout, which works quite well. I've used it before. Okay. Your fuel door release, and then you actually got your little, inflator, tire inflator
that's
kit.
good packaging.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So that's the Honda we know of and love. Now let's check out these rear seats, see if they fold down well. I'm sure they do. Let's hit there's only one thing. You have to reach pretty far, but then you hold it down, push it forward.
Oh, no. Okay,
not bad.
All right.
Not bad. It's not flat, but Brian, I definitely think you can camp back here.
Oh,
let me check it out.
Well,
in fact, see what this is. This is lumbar when you're sleeping.
Oh, for that spine curving feature.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, to the middle.
A lot of room though.
All right, moving on to the middle, Brian. Let's check out the door panel. First off, look how wide this door opens. That's a good almost 90-degree angle, because when you get your roof tint, you got to be able to get up there, right? So you got plenty of room. I like that. That's pretty cool. Not soft touch here, but that's okay. Look, this is second class citizens back here. They don't need good stuff. You still get a padded door rest. You also get a spot to put your phone, which is really nice. I like that a lot. And then you get a nice bottle holder, which actually holds a pretty decent sized bottle. So let's get in here, Brian. Let's check it out. There is no panoramic roof, which we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I like the seat in here. Look at that orange stitching. You know why that's orange?
Trail Sport?
Because it's a sport.
Okay.
So you're sporty with orange. So
okay.
You do get rear AC vents, which is nice in this class to get that. You don't get to control it back here, but at least you get some vents. And then USB-C. Hey parents, you need to upgrade to the new USB-C. Get rid of the A. That's just a different cable, Mom. That's all it is.
You have an armrest?
Yeah, you do. You do get handles up here. And yes, you do get an armrest. Look at this with more cup holders. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cup holders back here.
Not bad.
Pretty nice. All right, moving on to the front, Brian. The front door is kind of the same as the back. You do get a padded armrest here, which is nice. That's a nice little touch they give you.
Yep.
And the rest of the door is basically the same. You get a padded little door pull here, spot to put your phone, and a pretty good cubby to put, coffee or another thermos or whatever it is you have that day. Let's get in here because I'm gonna stop the crosswind. It's kind of it's cold. All right. Get on into the driver's seat. This is actually, look, the touch points are really nice in here. I want to say that these are, I got to give them some credit here and some props. I like the stitching here. You get the orange stitching continues in the steering wheel along with the seats, and it feels good. It feels beefy.
And it's heated.
And it's heated. Yes,
nice.
You lose a little spot to put your hand here, but heated steering wheel, which is really nice. Only one setting. Hyundai gives you 2. Honda gives you 1. Interesting. Let's just go ahead and start this bad boy up and see what you get. You get some pretty cool gauges, or well, I say cool.
You get gauges.
Yeah, you get gauges, and look, Honda's been doing this thing. It's kind of cool. This is an actual analog gauge over here, which I like. And then they give you a digital cluster over here, which gives you all kinds of different things which you can look at. Let's dismiss all these things, and then you can see we've been averaging more on this on the drive, 26.3, and then for but that's only for the last 138 miles. For the last, I'm sorry, that was for the last 27 miles. For the last 2,000 miles, we're averaging 30.4.
Okay.
So, you know, we'll talk about more on that in a minute, but you can go through here, you can change, do you want to see the power flow, which is kind of cool. You can see how this hybrid system is working. You can do that over here too. You have wireless CarPlay, which is working right now, which is really nice. You can go back to home. I like how you just hit the home button and it takes you to the home native screen versus most CarPlay systems. You have to scroll through here, go to the apps, find the native app and go back to it that way. I love how this one, instead of having to do that, I just hit the home button.
That is nice.
That's really nice because I like to see the power flow. I like this little screen right here. This is really cool. It constantly resets your miles per gallon, and you can see your range and how the system's working. It's really neat because this system, we're going to talk about more in a minute, is very interesting. They've given you a volume knob. They've heard all the naysayers and the complainers, and they gave us a volume knob. No tuning knob, but I don't know. Maybe you don't need a tuning knob.
Nowadays,
I'm not sure.
This is steering wheel controls.
Everything else works good in here. Dual zone climate control, and it works. You do get a traditional shifter. I love that you get a traditional shifter despite no transmission. You get a traditional shifter, and you get PRND and B for baller mode, Brian.
Nope.
No, it's baller.
It's for brake.
Baller. So we're gonna go try baller mode. Let's give it a go, Brian, and see what it can actually do. No torque converter, no transmission.
Nope.
Hit it, boy.
Loading the generator motor.
Is that a Type R?
No, just the sound of a sidebar.
Are those fake shifts?
Yes. 60 miles an hour. What you got? What you got?
8.58.
Look.
Look.
Well, hold
That's
on.
with me in the car, though. What was the fastest without me in the car?
7.41.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No
Very
way.
respectable. Very respectable.
That is good. That is good.
So,
Okay.
but it only happened once. So
Oh.
7.81.
Okay.
And then 7.41.
Interesting.
And then heat soak started to happen. Which I was really curious about if this is going to have that situation because it's not turbocharged.
Interesting.
There's no intercooler to worry about. I think it was just the back. We do 4 of these back to back every time.
Yep.
And that's the best of the 4.
It's a very cool day. It's 47 degrees right now.
Yeah, it's hard to make excuses for it. But
boy, if it was 100 degrees, though, what would be happening? That'd be interesting. So.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. But look, 741 is real respectable for this category.
No,
for sure.
it really is. And usually you're getting that with a turbo or something else.
Right.
There's no turbos here. This is a hybrid that, Brian, you talked about it a little bit. You want to talk about what's going on there with the engine and the motors?
Yeah, so what's happening here is we were real confused on this. We spent about a week researching this because we kept getting different answers.
Yeah.
Some people claim this shares the platform with the powertrain with the Accord, except this has a low-speed direct drive clutch.
Yes.
Whereas the Accord only has a high speed, meaning at highway speeds. That's for towing, apparently, on this, which is not really a thing, but maybe for off-road it'll be more meaningful, I think. But moral of the story is, this has a gas-powered Atkinson cycle 2-liter, 4-cylinder. Honda's good at that.
That's very efficient as far as thermal efficiency goes.
Totally, absolutely.
Not necessarily fuel mileage, more on that in a second.
And that's where you're going to get into. And then it has it used to have, the old hybrid system had 2 parallel electric motors. Now they're side-by-side electric motors.
Right.
For
packaging.
For packaging, and I think it's also for that direct drive clutch.
Yes.
They can package one in each, is what's happening there.
So.
I may be wrong with that. Comment below if you work for Honda, maybe you know more about it than we do.
Yeah.
Because the press kits are kind of vague, but they do confirm that this can drive a direct gas motor 2-wheel.
Yes.
So there's no transmission.
Right.
It has electric motors and a couple clutches working in tandem to get power to the ground.
Which is very interesting.
Different way of doing it for sure.
Definitely a different way of doing it. Definitely thinking outside the box. You know, Mazda does that a lot. Now Honda's doing it with some.
Well, but this one works really well. And so.
Well, it's fair.
You know, what I'm getting at is, I'm not talking about MPG, we're going to do that in a second. But if you had a conventional CVT, guys like I'd be like, oh, get me out of here because it's going and all this kind of crazy stuff. This jumps between electric-powered hybrid electric motors to direct drive gas seamlessly.
That part is seamless, but I will say, without us doing any research, if we were just driving us around, I guarantee you one of us would have thought this had a CVT somewhere along the way.
Well,
because
at full throttle, yes.
When you get in full throttle or you get on cruise control at 70 and you go up a hill, the motor kicks in, the Atkinson cycle motor kicks in, and makes all this noise. but then you don't feel surge. You know, like feels like that CVT slippage, or it feels like something's not connected. Turns out nothing's a lot of times is connected.
Turns out, yeah, exactly. And part of the problem too with hybrids,
it's a weird sensation.
It's a very weird sensation. And part of the problem with highway driving hybrids, a lot of them, not all of them, but this one in particular, is that the gas engine's on most of the time.
Yeah.
Because it just has to, for the amount of juice it needs, it pushes a hole in the wind. That's what it does.
Yeah. This claims to get 34 highway, 40 city, 37 combined.
Right.
Brian, in the city, you and I have touched 36, 38.
38 was the best whilst doing the best I could, AC off, coasting, all the stuff.
And that's driving at city speed. You're never really getting over 50 miles an hour really for a sustained amount of time. You're 50 and under. It's a lot of stop and go.
Yeah, a lot of urban,
urban driving.
Yeah.
The moment you get it up on highway speeds, 65 plus, 70, 75.
That was where you drove it. What'd you get?
And you're lucky to get 28, 29.
Okay, what was the best you saw?
The best I saw driving to work one day, I touched 30.
So not 34.
Not 34.
Okay, and then our combined drive, not just us, but other journalists, this thing has got 6,000 miles on it, and the previous 2,000 miles had an average of like 30 and change.
Like 30.8.
30.8.
Yeah.
So that just tells you it's just not getting the EPA number.
It's not hitting the EPA number, which is a little disappointing because an ICE motor traditionally is going to get close to that on its own anyways.
Yeah,
in
not that
driving environment.
Far off. Right.
And here's probably the biggest letdown is we recently had the Hyundai Santa Fe hybrid, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
The exact same drive, where hybrids don't do well, it got 36 miles a gallon.
Which is really impressive because it's a little bit bigger size and footprint, so it has probably a little more wind to roll with or to fight. And it had a roof rack on it too and all this stuff. So I don't know. Anyways, all that out of the way, if you're a Honda guy, you're gonna love this no matter what. But I will say the type of person that's gonna buy this, I think of my in-laws, they would love this.
Sure.
It's a roomy interior. It's quieter than older Hondas, although it's not as quiet as I would like it to be still. But the packaging and familiarity is going to sell a lot of people on it.
Look, it is a good package. You mentioned that you'd prefer this over the Accord and you don't like crossovers. You're Mr. Anti-crossover guy.
Absolutely.
But look, this is a good seating position with great sight lines.
The comfy seats too.
This is an easy vehicle to drive and live with. It is noisy on course roads. That's kind of a Honda thing. Still happens here.
Yep.
It sounds like maybe we're trashing it's their decision to do this weird dual motor hybrid system. But Brian, it's all in the name of reducing NOx emissions.
Right.
This is, when it comes to that, this is a really efficient engine, and that's why Honda's gone this route. It's kind of like EcoBoost early on in Ford's game. They're getting early into the game. They got to reduce emissions.
Yeah.
They're ahead of the game, and as far as NOx emissions go, this is a really efficient vehicle.
Okay, right on. And it's not awful like anything.
No.
Right. So good packaging. I can see why people want to buy this. And if you're in the market, check it out. Anything else?
With that, get those nostrils painted black. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe and like button and leave us some comments. Let us know how wrong we are.